Ta-da! Howdy! Hey! Ha ha ha! Hey, I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer. How the heck are you? Hey, I got a special one I'm doing here. Hung on to for a little bit, but I just need a drinker. Mary Jane from Ilkley Brewery. Is that how that's pronounced? Ilkley? Correct me if I'm wrong. Ilkley, it looks like. Anyway, 3.5%. Mary Jane. I'm going to read from the bottle here. Mary Jane is an award-winning, crisp, straw-colored beer. It's light and refreshing, balanced with citrus aromas. The finest Maltra, the finest Maris Otter, 99%, and Crystal, 1%. Hops are Cascade and Amarillo, and water from the Yorkshire Dales. How about that? The website description says they use high quantities of Amarillo hops, and I am a fan of the Amarillo hops, so I'm looking forward to trying this. Oh, wow, very pleasant aroma. Reminiscent of American lagers, actually. Very reminiscent of classic American lagers. I'm not talking about the adjunct lagers that most Americans are familiar with now. I'm talking about the classic American lagers. Oh, yeah, it does have that aroma, but boy, that's a very familiar aroma. I wasn't expecting that, actually. I'm going to use my Imperial pint glass. Sometimes I do these videos and I just pour a small amount, but since this is a pint, I wanted an opportunity to use my Imperial pint here, because I just love drinking out of these things when I can. Wow, of course, nice. I mean, even if somebody just handed this to me and I didn't see the bottle or know what it was, I would just assume this is what was an American brew. It was an American lager, because that's exactly what it looks like there. Holy cow. Wow. That's reminded me of something that tastes eerily familiar. Wow. Wow, this is It's very light, but I mean, it is only 3.5%. So I mean, you're not going to get a heavy brew. Stuart and I kind of went back and forth on how we liked our beers. I think it's interesting that that most of these UK beers are very light in ABV. I don't know how the concept would come across in America. First of all, Americans do like buying six-packs, although we do buy bottles like this from time to time. Again, to buy a beer like this, it'd have to be cost-effective for me and for many people. Oh. I gotta tell you, light body and light. Is this an ale? I assume. I don't know if it says. I mean, I would just assume it was a lager. I don't know if it says it's an ale. It just says Mary Jane, crisp and pale. I just assume it's an ale, but it doesn't really say directly, does it? Huh. Yeah, I mean, the body's light as you would expect it to be for a 3.5% brew. But the hops there at the end are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. They really are. This is what Americans would call, though, a lawnmower beer. Let me adjust that just slightly. There we go. Yeah, it is. It is what we would call a lawnmower beer. It's very light in body. The flavor is pleasant, but there isn't a lot there. Again, that finish is just beautiful. But it is reminiscent of what American beers once were. Before there was a time when many of the American beers that we have that we know to be bad beers now didn't contain all the adjuncts that they currently do. And again, there was a time when not all American beers were made that way. So yeah, this kind of what this is reminiscent of for me. I just had a Henry Weinhardt's Private Reserve the other day, which, as far as I know, was adjunct free. And this has a very similar body, very similar color, and very similar taste, as a matter of fact. It's very close, very similar. So, like I said, if this was just handed to me, if we were at a pub and somebody just says, "Here, drink this," I probably wouldn't have made the leap that this was a European ale. I would have probably jumped to the conclusion this was just a local American brew. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's the flavor, presence, and profile that you get from this beer. Oh. You can see though how light and refreshing that thing is. I mean, holy crap! You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful freaking beer. I don't care who you are. Anyway, hey, I'm not gonna drink the whole beer with you. I'm gonna get the heck out of here. But hey, I'm coming to Beer Whisperer. Yum yum. That was a good beer. Thanks, Stuart.